I've worked in this industry for over 15 years, and the one movement that causes the most issues and is most often limited in people is hip internal rotation. What we're going to talk about today is how to improve it, why people have limitation in that movement, and what exercises we can do in order to overcome it, both from a corrective exercise, but also a strength training perspective. Hi, I'm Alex Zeffer, founder of Resilient Training and Rehab, and I've helped thousands of coaches and clinicians get faster and more consistent results with their clients. Let's get into it. Before we get into how we can solve this, let's talk about some of the reasons why we're limited in hip internal rotation. So in my experience, there are three main reasons why this happens. First, if my pelvis dumps forward, that's going to inherently lose space in the front part of the hip. So if my pelvis dumps forward, I'm now going to go into more of a flexed position of my hip. What's also going to happen is the femur is going to start to externally rotate or turn out. If that happens, that then causes the second issue. We have tension going on the back part of the pelvis. And then the third reason why this happens is because we have a pelvis that is dumping forward and potentially turning away from that side. That's going to create a lot more tension in the back and the front of the hip. So let's break these down. So for the first one, we have a pelvis that is dumped forward. The reason why people do this is if I dump my pelvis forward, I'm going to be shifting my weight towards my toes. The reason why I do this is because if I can't internally rotate my hip, then I'm going to push my weight towards my toes as a way to put force into the ground. Hip internal rotation allows me to push off of the ground, to be able to load into my foot. So if I can't do that, then I'm going to arch through my lower back or through my rib cage in order to shove my weight towards my toes because it gets me off the ground faster. So the first reason why I have this limitation in hip internal rotation is this anterior pelvic tilt. So an anterior pelvic tilt is related to that inability to IR the hip. Now, when we started talking about that pelvis going forward, the other thing that will happen is we will start to see a squeezing of the back part of the hip. So we're going to see this sacrum or the tailbone get closer towards the sit bone. So this space gets closed. That's going to limit our ability to not only flex our hip, but also internally rotate the hip. If I have this space squeezed, the femur is also going to externally rotate. So just think that the femur, the sit bone, and the sacrum, they all get close together. So this is your butt grippers. You see people who squeeze their butt all the time, or when they stand, they're in this little bit of a sway back position. That's the people that I'm referring to who have that limitation in hip flexion and internal rotation. Sometimes people get pinching in the front of their hip when they experience a lot of that tension, or they get piriformis issues, or they start feeling SI joint discomfort. All of these can be related, not always, but can be related to that squeezing. And then thirdly, we have a pelvis that's now turning away from that side, which is a little bit of everything. If I have a pelvis turning away from that side, then I've got a pelvis that is dumping forward and is also going to be turning away from the femur. And what that does is that brings these two closer together. And because I'm turning away from that side, it then brings the sacrum to the sit bone. So you can see all of these are related. The dumping of the pelvis, the turning away from the pelvis, and the squeezing of the backside. All of these are related, but understanding when each happen or what specifically is happening at the pelvis, that's the key to picking which exercise is most effective. So the first exercise we're going to do is a cross connect. So let's pretend that we have a pelvis that is tilted forward on this left side. I've got a lot of tension going through the back part of the hip, and I'm missing internal rotation of that hip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my left foot down. I'm going to have my right leg marched up. Now what this position is going to do naturally just at the beginning is this is going to turn my hips towards the right. But if I put, instead of me doing that through my lower back, if I put pressure on the outside part of my left heel and the ball of my big toe, what you'll feel is an automatic rotation of not only your foot, but your shin. Your shin will feel like it's turning in, and that's really important for getting that hip internal rotation. The other thing that I want you to feel is that your belt line is nice and firm against the ground. I don't want you to push it into the ground where you feel that flare, but just feel like your back gently melts into the ground without your stomach muscles kicking on. Then, to really reinforce this internal rotation, I'm going to take this arm, bend my elbow, and I'm going to reach it across my body slightly. I don't want you to reach it too far across where you feel like you're losing space, but just reach it slightly across so it's in line with your chest bone. You're then going to take a big breath in as you reach this arm up towards the ceiling. Feel a nice big stretch along the back part of your rib cage. And as you breathe out, you're going to push your left foot into the ground without lifting up your hips. You should just feel the tag of your pants stays on the ground, and you push your outside heel and ball of big toe. And you hold that tension. As you breathe in, you're going to go a little further, and then you're going to breathe out and press again. You always maintain that tension. What you should feel is a lot of hamstring and even that lower glute working. That's how you know you're in the right position. Okay, so for the second exercise, again, assuming that we have limitation on the left side, we're going to do a cross-body hinge. By using the cross-body position, it's going to pull me on the outside part of my foot. So I then have to lock the inside edge down. That is going to create internal rotation for my foot all the way up the chain. By also having this cross-body position, now by hinging, that's going to further open up the back part of the pelvis. So when I'm doing this kind of position, I'm going to drive my knee forward so it's in line with the knuckles of my toes. I'm going to plant the inside edge of the foot. I'm just going to tilt my pelvis over top of the femur. That's going to create space between now my femur and the sit bone. So by hinging, I'm going to be able to create space in the back part of my pelvis. And also by keeping that knee bent, I'm going to make sure that my glute stays nice and long. It's not contracting and squeezing like a lot of people would want to do, but keeping the inside edge and then folding over. So this is a bit of an alternative exercise to improve internal rotation, but I thought it'd be great to visualize how we can actually improve IR with using a machine like this. Now, one thing to understand is when we are trying to improve internal rotation, and a very important muscle for that is the adductors, specifically the adductors, the groin muscle that attaches close towards your pelvis. Because what it does is it opens up the bottom part of the pelvis. That puts the sockets in a position to allow for internal rotation to happen, and it opens up the entire back part of the pelvis. Now, what we're going to do is instead of leaning back excessively, I'm actually going to get you to lean forward slightly. You're going to grab onto the handles, and you're going to think like you're going to pull the handles up. That's going to drive your sit bones down into the pad so that we're able to get a good position of the pelvis. By slightly leaning forward, you're also going to open up your chest, which again is going to be important for improving internal rotation all the way through the chain. You're then going to breathe out as you squeeze. You're going to squeeze your knees together, and you're going to hold it for 3 seconds. Then you're going to breathe in as you slightly open, maintaining tension. Then you're going to breathe out and squeeze. But the whole time I'm pulling up, I'm squeezing my knees together, because adduction, when my knees are coming towards each other, that is internal rotation. By leaning forward slightly, that's going to open up the back part of my hip, almost like I'm hinging. And then by maintaining this isometric contraction, I'm going to get those upper adductors firing to help create space in the pelvis. In this video, we talked about 3 different reasons why you could be limited in hip internal rotation, and broke down 3 different exercises in order to improve it. If you want more exercises like this, check out my posture program. There's over 40 exercises broken down into 3 different phases that is not only going to improve your hip mobility, but but also shoulder mobility. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, save, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.